Someone out there believes the Chicago Bears are headed to the playoffs. And not just some optimistic fan hoping for a miracle season. No, this time it's Colin Cowherd in National Voice. With a big platform, and he laid out exactly why he thinks the Bears could be one of the surprise postseason teams in the NFL this year. It might sound crazy at first, especially considering where the Bears finished last season. But when you break it down and look at the NFC North as a whole, the argument starts to make a lot of sense. Let's start with the most basic reasoning Cowherd gave the other teams in the NFC North. All come with serious question marks. Take the Minnesota Vikings, for instance. They are going all in on a rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, who has yet to take a single snap in the NFL. That's a bold strategy for a franchise trying to remain competitive. We've seen time and time again how difficult that rookie learning curve can be. Unless McCarthy comes out playing like a seasoned veteran, which is extremely rare, the Vikings are going to face some growing pains this season. Then you look at the Detroit Lions. Sure, they were one of the darlings of the league last season, but they've taken some major hits in their coaching staff. Losing both offensive and defensive coordinators to head coaching jobs elsewhere is no small thing. In total, they lost 8 coaches. That is a massive amount of turnover for a team that's trying to maintain momentum. Continuity is crucial in the NFL, and when that many voices leave the locker room, especially ones that were instrumental in your success, you can expect some sort of regression, or at the very least, an adjustment period. And finally, the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they made the playoffs last year, and Jordan Love showed flashes of being the guy, but Cowherd isn't buying them as a dominant force in the division. He pointed out that while they're solid, they don't have that top-tier talent all over the roster. Outside of maybe Josh Jacobs on offense, they're lacking those game-changing players who can consistently take over. Their secondary is also a concern after moving on from Jaire Alexander, and their pass rush doesn't strike fear in opposing offenses. There's a reason why this division feels wide open right now. None of these teams scream Super Bowl contender, and they all have enough issues that a well-coached, improved Bears team could sneak in and grab a playoff spot. And speaking of improvements, Cowherd was quick to praise the new direction the Bears are taking, especially with the hiring of Ben Johnson. That's where his second point comes in. He sees Johnson as a potential offensive mastermind, comparing his early approach to the likes of Sean McVay, Sean Payton, and Andy Reid, all of whom prioritized building strong offensive lines when they took over their respective teams. Johnson seems to be following that same philosophy, immediately identifying the offensive line as a weakness and attacking it in the offseason. Chicago's offensive line last year was a disaster. Injuries, inconsistent play, lack of depth, you name it, they dealt with it. This year they made big moves to address it. Bringing in guys like Jonah Jackson, Drew Dalman, and Joe Thuney is a massive step forward. Thuney alone is a huge upgrade, even over a healthy Tevin Jenkins, who, while solid, hasn't been able to stay on the field consistently. Dalman and Jackson, if healthy, should completely transform the interior of that line. And that's going to make life much easier for rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. Even Darnell Wright, who showed flashes last season, is expected to take a leap forward. At left tackle, Braxton Jones has been serviceable, and with additional depth options now in the mix, like Izzy Trapilo and Kieran Amagaji, the Bears finally have some insurance in case injuries pop up again. It's not just about adding new players, it's about changing the mentality in the trenches. And that's something Cowherd picked up on. When you hire a coach who makes the offensive line a top priority, that sets the tone for the whole offense. It shows a clear plan to protect your young quarterback and establish a physical identity. That brings us to the third reason Cowherd believes in this team, Caleb Williams. More specifically, the environment that's been created around him. Young quarterbacks in the NFL need guidance. They need a support system. And let's be honest, how many young signal callers have failed in this league? Not because of their talent, but because they were thrown into dysfunctional situations with little help. That's not going to be the case in Chicago, at least not on paper. Ben Johnson brings a clear offensive vision, and that's crucial for Caleb. The quarterback isn't being left on an island. He's got a coach who understands how to develop an offense, and the Bears made a point of giving him help at the skill positions too. They went out and added players like Luther Burden and Cole Loveland, guys who can make plays and help take pressure off the quarterback. Even the smaller additions like Olamide Zakos and Kyle Monange add depth and versatility. It's easy to say, well, let's wait and see how it all comes together, and that's fair. But there's no denying that this roster looks significantly better than it did a year ago. The upgrades are real, and the intent behind the moves is clear. The Bears aren't just trying to be competitive, they're trying to build a sustainable Contender. The coaching staff, the player additions, the revamped defensive line, it's all part of a bigger plan. Of course, none of it matters if Caleb Williams doesn't take that step forward. That's the great unknown here, but the setup. He's walking into his light years better than what most rookie quarterbacks get. There will be growing pains, sure, every rookie goes through it. And with the new coaching staff and new schemes on both sides of the ball, some early season hiccups are expected, but the ceiling, it's a lot higher than people realize. KYZIR even went as far as to say he sees the Bears as a 9 or 10 win team this year. That might sound bold, but when you look at the state of the division, the changes in Chicago, and the potential of a player like Caleb Williams, it's not as far-fetched as it once seemed. He's not someone who has historically been high on the Bears either, so when he throws his support behind them, it definitely turns some heads. There's a cautious optimism building in Chicago. Bears fans have been burned before, so it's understandable if they're not ready to fully buy in just yet. But this time feels different. There's structure, there's direction, there's a roster that makes sense, and a coaching staff that actually seems capable of getting the most out of it. It's not just hope, it's hope backed by logic and planning. Training camp will be the next big milestone. That's when we'll start to get real answers about how this new-look Bears team is coming together. The rookies and quarterbacks report on July 19th, with the veterans arriving on the 22nd. The first open practice for fans is set for July 25th, and that kicks off a series of public practices, including joint sessions with both the Dolphins and the Bills. The team's Family Fest event returns to Soldier Field on August 3rd, which wasn't held last year, but is back on the calendar now. It's all starting to come together. The buzz is building, and for the first time in a long time, the Bears might actually be heading into a season where fans have more than just blind hope. They might have legitimate reason to believe this team is on the rise. KYZIR sees it, and maybe, just maybe, Chicago is ready to surprise a lot of people in 2025. The excitement around training camp this year isn't just about seeing the new rookies or watching Caleb Williams take his first real reps as the face of the franchise. It's about getting a glimpse into what could be a new era for the Chicago Bears. For years, fans have been waiting for a season where things just felt aligned, where there was a sense of identity and progress. And now, with a revamped front office, a fresh coaching staff, and a roster that has finally been retooled with purpose, that feeling is starting to take hold. What makes this moment feel different is the combination of structure and flexibility. The Bears aren't just relying on one big name or hoping for a magical season out of nowhere. They've built depth, added leadership, and created competition in areas that were previously weak. That kind of internal pressure pushes players to improve and gives coaches options. When injuries inevitably happen, it's not a perfect roster, and no one's pretending it is, but the margin for error is much greater than it was in years past. And as for Caleb Williams, the pressure is enormous, no doubt about it. Being the #1 overall pick in a football-crazed city comes with its own weight, but he's not being set up to fail. He's got legitimate playmakers, an improved offensive line, and a coaching staff that believes in him. That foundation is crucial. The expectation isn't for him to be a superhero from day one, it's for him to grow, learn, and take control of the offense as the season progresses. If there's one thing fans should watch closely during camp and the preseason, it's how quickly the offense gels. Timing, rhythm, chemistry, those things matter just as much as raw talent. And with so many new pieces in place, from the coordinator to the line to the receivers, there's bound to be an adjustment period. But if that unit can come together by mid-season, this team has the potential to not just compete, but to steal games that many would have counted as losses in previous years. The defense shouldn't be overlooked. While most of the focus has been on the offense, and understandably so, the Bears still have some strong pieces on the other side of the ball. If they can get consistent pressure and improve their secondary play, they'll be able to hang in games and give the offense a chance to work. Complementary football is key, especially when you're bringing along a young quarterback. So yes, it's early, the pads haven't come on yet, but there's something brewing in Chicago, and for the first time in a long while, that something might actually lead to meaningful football in January. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Chicago may be getting ready for a major shakeup on defense, and the buzz is growing louder by the day. Whispers from inside the league suggest that veteran linebacker KYZIR White is set to join the Bears, and if true, it could mark a pivotal move for a franchise eager to re-establish its defensive identity. White, known for his physicality and leadership, would bring much-needed experience to a linebacker corps that has been searching for a true field general. Though no official confirmation has been made, insiders close to the situation are pointing to a deal that is all but signed. The former Arizona Cardinal reportedly sees Chicago as a perfect landing spot, a city that embraces tough, hard-nosed football and celebrates defensive icons. A former safety-turned-linebacker, White's versatility and Seidel-in a Tazadiling presence could provide an immediate upgrade to Matt Eberflus' defensive unit. Sources suggest that White is not only looking to make an impact on the field, but also in the locker room, where his leadership and high football IQ are expected to set the tone for a younger core of linebackers still trying to find their footing in the NFL. While fans are cautiously optimistic, some analysts believe this move could be the beginning of a broader defensive revamp, with the Bears already investing heavily in defensive talent through the draft, and recent signings bringing in a seasoned player like White might be the missing piece in creating a defense reminiscent of the monsters of the Midway. Is KYZIR White the spark that reignites the fire in Chicago's defense? Nothing is official yet, but if the rumors hold weight, Bears fans might want to keep their eyes on Hollis Hall. A new defensive leader could be on his way, and his name is KYZIR White. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.